Good morning, it's me, I'm back. Hello, it is Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. and I am here with you live on my Facebook business page. You can find me, I'm Stephanie Flath. In case you don't know me, haven't met me yet, I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me every Wednesday at 10:30 on my business page at Dazzled by Stamping, facebook.dazzledbystamping.com, and you can find me, hi Michelle, you can find me anytime during the week on my website at dazzledbystamping.com. So I'm with you here this morning. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, but I'm here, so I'm really happy to be here. I have a bunch to show you. Those of you who have been at my clubs and workshops, hi Susan. Those of you who have been at my clubs and workshops this week, this is a little bit of a review here, but I changed up colors and stuff like that. But I want to completely show you all about Sale-a-Bration before it's gone, because Sale-a-Bration ends on Sunday the 31st, which is like a week and a half away. So I just want to show you some things that are so gorgeous. I changed up colors and cardstock and designer paper and stuff like that, but I wanted to share with everybody, so I'm doing that. I decided to do that quick today. So without wasting any time, I'm just going to get into it. I have, I'm focusing on, this is actually the second release flyer, Sale-a-Bration flyer, and I'm focusing on the folder here. It's called Country Floral folder, and then this bundle here. I'm well, I guess I'm more focusing on the stamp set. Hi Marcia. But anyway, so you can get it as a bundle with a $100 order, and the folder you can get with a $50 order. And then there's also I think I've shown you all of these things, but just there's coolness that happened this month that I want to share with everybody. So the other thing that I've shown you is this stamp set. It's called what's it called? More Than Words. I forgot to like stick it in my head. So this, when you first look at the stamp set, it's kind of overwhelming, like what all is this? But it coordinates with so many things, and so I just want to show you some ways to use it, and it's just cool stuff. So I'm starting with, let's see, I decided that I'm going to start with my embossing folder card, which this is the folder. Remember, it's dynamic, so that means a couple things. It's thicker, it's heavier, and it has a lot more texture. Hi Cheryl, I'm glad you're here. It has a lot more texture. I've never seen so much texture. That sounds funny, coming up, so much texture. In an embossing folder, it's just crazy. I love that you call me back, girl, you crack me up. So I'm using this, it's just gorgeous. So when you use it with your Big Shot, you need to keep in mind a couple things. You still use it like a normal embossing folder as far as if you have an old platform, you put one tab out of the way, or if you have the newer platform, you take out the thin die adapter layer. So you just need it to the bottom part. But then you only use one cutting mat because it's so thick. And I always put it on the top. I'm not sure it truly matters, but I feel like putting the single cutting mat that you're using on the top protects the folder itself. So that's what I always choose to do. Okay, so there have been all kinds of samples using this embossing folder. It's just gorgeous and amazing, and I'm not even sure how everybody does all their techniques, but this folder made me do one that I haven't done in quite a while, and I'm going to ink it up directly. So I chose to do, I hope this shows up good on camera because it's just so pretty, and I have other samples to show you too, but I'm using So Saffron. So that's my ink color. This is an old, well, the last design of ink pad, but still firm foam. But anyway, so I'm taking my embossing folder and Can you see all that? I love that. You can see it in the light even. So I'm actually, for this folder anyway, I feel like some folders are different. Like you need to check out the folder and see what press is in where and which side it is. I'm not sure that Stampin' Up! Is consistent with which side they dig out or whatever. Anyway, for this folder, I'm inking up the one that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. Okay, so I should show you on here. I forgot, I should put it down. I don't normally, I'm starting stamping and I didn't even put you down yet. I'm sorry you had to wait, Susan. Sue had a workshop a week ago, Friday. Is that right? Something like that. And I thought that her shipment came in and I opened it up or I looked it up or whatever, and it was caught in severe weather. So it got here late and then my schedule's all messed up and whatever. So I just realized I need to put you down for stamping. I'm too busy like talking at you. So I'm going to put you down so you can see what I'm doing better and I don't have to go like this to show you things. So keep talking at me or asking questions or whatever, and I will answer questions when I'm done. So you can do that. Okay, so I can't see when you are commenting or what you're saying, so I have to do it later. Okay, so I'm inking this up on the side of the folder that has the Stampin' Up! Logo. I mean inside it, but that flap of it, I guess we'll call it. And then I'm going to put my Saw Saffron cardstock on here. Now, in my opinion, I like it best when the ink is just a little bit dry on the ink pad, but this doesn't happen to be one of them, but it still looks so very cool. So, as I mentioned, I just have the platform. There's no thin die adapter. I'm going to put my folder on here and the cutting mat on top and run it through. You don't need to go back and forth with embossing folders, but I do that when I'm using Thinlits usually. Look at that. So everywhere that the flowers are, it's not inked, but all in between is inked. I love it. Okay, so because there's so much texture, I'm going to put tear and tape on the back to hold it down to my card. And I already have that on here, so I just did that. I want the outside down. There's just so much here that I just want it to hold the edges down as much as possible. And then I put a little bit in the center. So this is the same thing, but I wanted it done and not have to do tear and tape. Now, the next thing that I'm using is the Painted Seasons stamp set. This is the one that's bundled in the second release Sale-a-Bration brochure, and it's bundled with the Painted Seasons designer paper. I've been kind of using that a lot, and I'll show you some samples with it. But I'm just using the stamp set right now. So I'm going to ink it up in Saw Saffron again. And I'm going to stamp it. I don't remember if I've shown you this stamp set, but I'm going to show it to you now. Look at, this is one of those distinctive stamps. So there's so much detail. My CHs are being weird today. Sorry. There's so much detail. Like you get the light and the dark all in one stamp because of how they made the detail on cutting the stamp itself. So there's those flowers, and then my next flower, the other one that I'm going to do, I'm going to just stamp it off really quick. Not hard. I want most of my color to be on there, but I just want a little bit different look there. So here's my card so far. I'm not sure the yellow shows up. Can you guys tell me how well this shows up on camera? Is the lighting okay? Need to know whether I need to stay away from it or not for another time. And I'm just kind of putting leaves here and there. It's not any kind of It's just a basic design that I have at the top of the card. Okay, so I'm done with the stamping, and now I considered having this peeled off already before I even got on camera, but I decided that at least if it, yeah, watch, I sit here and mess with it for hours. At least if the tear tape was actually on the cardstock, I would save a little bit of time anyway. So, just peeling these off. Now, if you have a problem with that, if you have thick nails because you have acrylic nails or whatever, you can always use your paper piercing tool or the Take Your Pick tool that has the paper piercing thing on it and just kind of stick it in there and lift up the paper from it. Okay, so here's my card so far. Just going monochromatic. At least for this, not for words. I always do words darker. I want them to stand out. So, what I chose for my words this time was also from the More Than Words stamp set. This is, this one, it's a Sale-a-Bration coordination item, but I feel like it coordinates with Artfully Aware that's in the, I don't remember the page number, but Artfully Aware that's in the Occasions catalog, and there's a, I feel like it's Ribbon of Hope is what it's called, and then there's also, where'd that stamp go? There's also like military courage type stuff. I feel like these particular stamps go with that. This one says, bravery looks beautiful on you. Ta-da! I love that. That script is so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little ribbon. So this is our metallic edged ribbon. This is white with silver. We also have vanilla with gold and berry burst with silver. The berry burst I know will retire because berry burst is one of the in colors that's retiring this year. We'll probably find out early April what it is. Okay, I just realized I'm not telling you how to do this. Okay, so I always go left over right, and a big key is making sure that these are pointed, these tails are pointed away from me, okay? Very big key. I don't know why, that's just what it does for me. I don't know how everybody else does their ribbons that do them well, but this is what I do. Left over right, and the ribbons are pointing away from me. The top one, I tuck it and pull it through the loop that I just created. So I'm going to tie it, and I'm using my, you see my middle finger, I'm kind of holding it there. Now, I need to point them again. They have to point away from me. And the top one, which is now the right one, is going to be crossed, and that's the one that's going to be tucked under. So, tuck under and through the hole that you just made. Now, I released, trying to show you, I released my finger so it's not being tight. But I cross it and tuck it underneath. Hello, whoever just got on. I can't see who it is, but thanks for coming. Okay, so I'm tightening this, and when I get to a certain point, what I like to do is I actually hold one end in place and pull the other one tight. And you see how it just squared up my knot right there? So that is the trick that has helped me to, or a bunch of the tricks that has helped me to get my ribbon the way that I want it. Then I'm just going to trim this. You'll have to use your paper snips or some other ribbon scissors. We don't sell those anymore, sorry. But I still use them. And here's my card. Alright, when I'm done with the other card, I'll show you some other samples and other colors that I did also. But there's that one. Okay, remember, whatever I'm making on my live, you have a chance to win. So you need to share this post, comment that you shared, and like the post. Or love it, or, you know, whatever. Oh, I'm trying to cut my cardstock with my... Oh, my scissors are sticking to my magnet on my Stamparatus. That's what I was trying to do. Sorry. Okay, so I'm done with that one. So that was one of my cards. And the other one that I want to do, I'm going to use, this is, I didn't mention that I was using this, but this is the designer paper. This is Botanical Butterfly. there's one side has black and white designs like this one, and then there's like some polka dots and stripes and stuff like that. And then the other side has colors like this, or like this one that I'm going to be using. So it's a cool mix of it. And you see these here? I know that the butterfly punch is non-orderable right now, but you can punch all these butterflies out. Now you have to be careful with how you do it. I kind of ended up cutting like a strip here or whatever, and then I punched out what ones I could. But anyway, so you can punch these out. And there's another black and white set. Let me show you that. You can punch these out. These you color. These are already colored, obviously. Anyway, so these will go great with the punch when it comes back, when it's orderable again in, last I know, early April. So excited. I can't wait till it comes back. I love it. Okay, so I'm using, can you believe I'm using my Rectangles Framelits again? They're my absolute favorite product right now. Okay, so I told you time and again that what I love about these, I'm going to show them again quick. Okay, so you get all of these. If you order just the Framelits, I believe they're $35, but they're also bundled with a cute set that you can get also. So there's some paper in my Framelit that I didn't notice. There. Okay, so my favorite part about these Framelits, besides the fact that there's so many sizes and so much, you just have so many options, I love that they are double stitched. I think this is the size that I want. No, that's too big. Alright, so let me show you. If you look really close, and maybe you can't see on camera this close, but there are two sets of stitching. What it does is it cuts, like if I'm going to put this on here, so I will end up cutting a frame out. It leaves stitching on the frame, and it leaves stitching on what's cut out of the center. I adore that of this. So I keep finding ways to use both parts. So that's what I'm doing today. So the first thing that you want to do with this is, so these are both the same size. I think these are 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. I put tear and tape around the outside edge of both pieces on the back. Okay. So this just makes it so that that frame, no matter how skinny it is, you can use it for something because it already has the adhesive on it, and you don't have to try to get it on there later when it's so skinny and trying to, you know, fit it. Okay, so I have tear and tape on here, and not my Framelit sticking to my stamp apparatus magnets. Okay, now for this we need to get our Big Shot back set up for Thinlet. Sorry, I forgot I needed to do this quick. Sorry, lots of noises. Okay, so I have my platform, my thin die adapter, a cutting mat, and then I'm putting, I know I'm kind of doing it off camera. I'll get it in here. Okay, so I'm putting one piece down, centering my Framelit on here as best possible, and then one more cutting mat on top. Okay, so I'm going to run this through and back. One of the things, I don't know if it's just my set, sorry, I know it's so loud. I don't know if it's just my set of Framelits or what, but it tends to not like to pull out of the Framelit. It just holds on really tight. And actually putting the tear and tape on the back actually gives it stability so that it comes out better. When you're using the thin, like especially designer paper as opposed to cardstock or whatever, it's more difficult to get out of it without ripping it. So anyway, that's something you can do. So in this design, just a sec. I knew it was gonna be loud. Okay, so in this design of card, using both of these, or making both of these pieces, I can actually make 2 cards out of this. Now, because of how I cut this and the fact that this matters, going straight up and down, I'll see how this one turns out. I haven't done one with this design of paper yet, this specific one. So, what I want, I know that I want, I'm going to start with these. Okay, so I want opposite pieces. I want one of each design, so one is the frame and one is the center. And there is a little bit of tear and tape on the back of the center, and so I'm just getting the backing off this, but this will not hold down your the piece the way you want it, so you still need to add adhesive to this one. And I'm going to do it right now so I don't forget. When I was doing my clubs and workshops this month, I kept forgetting to put adhesive on here, and so it's just, then I had to lift it and get it in there and whatever. Okay, so I put a little bit on there, and now I'm going to take the backing off my frame. If you ever have tear and tape where when I lay this down, I just kind of put it and then rip it where I need to. If you ever rip it so that it's too long and hanging off your designer paper or cardstock or whatever you're using, you don't have to cut it. It's okay. What you do is then you just peel off the backing when you're ready, and this one doesn't want to come. Peel off the backing, and then if it's hanging off your designer paper, then just fold it back onto itself, and it's all good. So no cutting needed. It's still just tearing. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this part is I'm going to lay this down. I want it over here. I want these to like overlap each other. Is that the right word? That's what I'm going to use anyway. I want them to overlap each other. So I'm just putting this edge down right here, and I'm going to tuck this in, and make sure when you're laying it down that you don't have the frame. Have you ever heard the term whopper jawed? You don't want it whopper jawed. Or I can't think of another word that I want to use for it. If it's not straight, then it won't lay down flat. So you don't want it like cockeyed. That's probably a good word, cockeyed. All right. So here's my rectangles. So I have the 2 pieces. I have the frames. I'm using both of them. I have good color. I'm loving it. Okay. So for now, well, no, I'm going to set up both cards right now. So this one I'm going to do a little bit differently because remember there's a picture that matters on here. I don't want my butterflies laying sideways, so we're going to do this one a little bit different. I haven't done this before because I've just been using like kind of graphic designs rather than picture designs kind of thing. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if that's the right terminology. And so this one needs to be a little bit different. We'll see how it turns out. So I got the frame revealed, the tear and tape revealed on the back. One more. Okay. Oh, don't put it on there yet. So I'm going to put my adhesive across here. Now, I need my, you really can't tell, so it really wouldn't matter too much, but I'm still going to change it. So I need my, maybe I could do it this way. Let's try it. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to hold my, put this edge down. So it's going to be a portrait card instead of a instead of a, oh, I want it closer to the center. I don't know if I can get this off. We're going to see. That's what happens when you design something different than what you practiced. Did it. I'm trying to stick stuff on here. Okay. So that I can lay it down more nicely. I want this more toward the center. And for some reason my fingers are being weird. Okay, so I just want this down, this one edge down. And I'm going to put this here. See, I wanted it to overlap, so I needed enough room to overlap it. So I can put this down, this down, this down. Alright, we'll see how this one goes. So here are two designs, same stuff, same framelits. I just crisscrossed them. Okay, now I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Ratus quick. I'm going to get this out of the way. So, I told you I was using the stamp set more than words, and I'm going to use it with my Stamp-A-Ratus. I've shown this before, but I'm still showing it. I just think it's way too cool. So I need to get my ink pads, I guess. That would be helpful. And this would be helpful. Okay, so I already set this up, at least the wishes part, or the first wishes. So I placed my, am I in camera? I placed my wishes on my piece that I wanted. I have my, I put grid paper down so you could see it better. You can line up wherever you like. You just have to be consistent where you're lining up when you're setting up. So I tend to use, it's a little bit different on this and on the foam that's underneath it. Excuse me, I tend to use this square where the Stampin' Up! Name is, because the closer you are to the hinge, the harder it is to get a good impression of your stamp itself, okay? So I'm going to put this right in the corner of where, I'm not putting it in the corner of the logo. For me, you can do it wherever you want, but I'm personally putting it in the corner of the square that the logo is in, okay? That's how I set it up to work. Alright, we don't want that in the way. Okay, so for this one, I'm using Highland Heather. I've been selling so many of this color lately. It's one of my new favorites too. It's not new anymore, it's almost a year old, but it's part of the new colors that we got. Okay, so we ink that up. We're stamping wishes in Highland Heather. And then we're going to flip it, and I have on here, I don't think I set it up though. Nope, it's not set up. Then there's this bottom part that provides this little cute little stripe on here, and you want it in a darker color. This stamp set is part of the Sale-a-Bration Coordination. I realized I should tell you more about it. It's not in a catalog, it's only in a flyer. You can find it online. It is $17. I'll put the item number on the top of my video when I'm done, but it's item number 150069 if you love this like I do. You can only get it this month. It is ending just like Sale-a-Bration is ending. So I'm picking up the stripey part that I just set up, and now I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. So obviously this is going to be darker than Highland Heather. I'm going to ink this. Ooh, I love it. Going to ink this up and stamp it right on there. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, I want to show it to you, but I'm going to finish my card first so that I don't have to reset up everything. Okay, so I decided I'm going to make at least one of these. I'm going to make one of them an Easter card, maybe one of them a birthday card. Okay, so Easter is one of the words that goes with wishes in this stamp set, and I don't usually do this in class because there's always too much stuff in the middle of the table, but I'm using my my other plate that I have set up on the other side. So And then when I'm ready, I'll do the, you can see how it works well for multiples. Okay, so I'm using Memento because I have photopolymer, and we're stamping Easter. It actually looks good, but I want it a little bit darker, a little bit thicker, so I'm stamping it again, or inking it again, and stamping it again. I always press right on top of where the stamp is. It helps you get a good impression. Okay, so now I can show you. Look how cool that looks. I love that so much. So this is Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. Alright, so now I'm going to show you. I don't usually do a multiple, so this will show you like how perfect it is for you if you're doing another card. So I'm lining it up right in that square again, putting my magnets down on here, and I need to switch this back around. Remember, stand it straight up and down. It doesn't look like it on camera, but I have it like at a 90-degree angle. Otherwise, it's in a locked position. If you tip it like this, you can't pull it out like this. Okay, so inking up wishes again with Highland Heather. And since it's already set up and I want you to see how quick and amazing it is, I'm doing another Easter card. So I hope you send out Easter cards if you want this stuff I'm making today. Okay. The bottom of wishes. And grab my Memento, and I'm inking up Easter. And I'm inking it up again, because that's how I roll, with this tiny little font. And it's all done. And I just did the second one just like that, because it was already set up on my Stamparatus. This tool is amazing. If you're a perfectionist at all, it's amazing. Now, what you won't like if you're a perfectionist is this is our Simply Chamois. It's amazing for this, except that it looks like this. It stains immediately when you use it. But I can clean any ink that I got on here. I can clean my stamps. Look, I'm cleaning my wish right here. I can clean my other wish. It kind of gets in the grooves. I can clean this case that I just got ink on. So I could completely do the same exact design in a completely different color, because I just cleaned these off with my chamois, and now I could do a total different color scheme with the same design, and I didn't have to take my stamps off here at all. So that is amazing to me. So these are $8. You can even cut them. I just have mine full. Now, it comes in plastic, but the plastic isn't resealable. I heard a tip to store it in a DVD case, but when I tried it, it's not sealed. There's still air gets in there, so then it dries out, which isn't a problem. You can just re-wet it and wring it out, but I want this ready when I want it, so that's just what I prefer. Okay, so I'm closing up my ink pads really quick. And then I'll finish the cards. Alright, we're all good. So, I'm using this triple banner punch. If you've not seen this, it's cool. So that you can get like a flag end or a banner end. It's called banner because it cuts out this piece from the end of your cardstock. It's called triple because there's 3 layers here. This is 1 inch wide, then this next step up is 1.5 inches, and next step up is 2 inches. You probably can't go nope, you can't go any wider than 2 inches, but you could go anywhere between 2 inches and lower. If it's not one of these exact measurements, you're going to just have to center it on the layer that it can go on the best you can. But otherwise, this is 1.5 inches, so I can just put it right on this level. Slide it in as far as it'll go, and punch. Love it. Okay, so here's my pieces, and I'm using dimensionals. Actually, I'm using strips of dimensionals because I'm at the end of this one. So you'll have to be a little bit more patient because I'm tearing also. Hello. I'm not shy when I use dimensionals. I want it to stay standing up if I'm going to bother with it at all. So, that's one thing. Sometimes I'm picky with my customers. You guys know that. If we're hearing like, okay, if I tell you to do 3 rhinestones, then don't do 4 because I might not have enough for everybody. But for dimensionals, I'm like, go for it. Don't be shy. Okay, so I'm going to take all the backings off and we'll finish our 2 cards quick. And then I'll show you samples of other colors that I've done. Okay, so, oh, this is the portrait one, yes? Yes. All right, this one, I don't know, I feel like I need to do this a little bit differently or something. Oh, I'm going to angle it. That will help. Okay, so this one's getting angled. And this one, this was my original design. I just wanted to make sure all the colors were showing. There's that design. Okay, so now I'm ready to bring you up and I can chat at you some more. Hello, hi Arlene and Kathy, and I don't know who else is there. Okay, so a bunch of you have already seen these, but they're still cool and I want to show them. So, I told you that I love this, this More Than Words stamp set. So, first of all, here is 2 colors, 2 other sets of colors using the same design. So, both of these are from the Painted Garden? Painted Seasons. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Sue. So these are, both of these designer papers are from Painted Seasons, the bundle. You can actually get just the designer paper with a $50 order. But if you want the stamp set that I used on the other card, you need the bundle. So, the bundle is available with a $100 order. So there's that one, or 2. And then for my other card, I did several different samples of this one. Okay, so here is one with soft sea foam, and I used different wording up there and actually a different flower on this one too. So this is soft sea foam and white. This is soft sea foam. You can't really tell in lighting, but this is vanilla. So this is vanilla and gold ribbon. And then this is, all of this is Pool Party, including this shimmer ribbon here. So there's that. That's cool. Okay, so I want to show you how versatile this set is too. The More Than Words. So for my clubs, I've been using the set with, there's says, leaping for joy is easy to do when I have a friend as amazing as you. I wanted it to be versatile, and so I used it with animal outing also. So here's that, the saying goes well with the kangaroo also. So I just wanted to show you that. I love this set. I love that it goes with so many different stamp sets. So anyway, that's all my stuff that I have for you. So just a couple reminders. You have through the 31st to place a celebration order and get free celebration items. I have no idea how much of the designer paper, I showed you the botanical designer paper, and I showed you the Painted Seasons. I have no idea how much we have of that, but if you really like it, you need to get it sooner than later because it's consumable. So Stampin' Up! Doesn't, they don't manufacture it like they do the stamps. So whenever it runs out, it runs out. So get it while you can. So the 31st for that, the 31st for this stamp set. It will not be in a new catalog. This is exclusive for this month. There was a promotion to go. Thank you, Marcia. it was a promotion to go with Sale-a-Bration items. So if you like this, get it now. And also I have classes coming up. So I have 2 deadlines coming up. On Monday is my deadline to sign up for my, I think I call it a Butterfly Beauty class, but it's the Beauty Abounds with the big Framelits. I just showed it last week, and so that deadline is on Monday to sign up for that. And then I have an all occasions card class next Thursdays, and the sign up for that is on Tuesday. So let me know if you are wanting to sign up for those classes. And thank you for joining me today. I had a great time with you. And I love having you here. So anyway, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing, Marsha. And have a wonderful day. And I will talk to you later. See you next week. Bye.